31, we again said before that the vertex is opposite of inside, 5, comma, number on right, 6. Axis is symmetry, x part of the vertex, so x equal 5. So I put the vertex in the center of a table. I just picked some points that are equidistant. So one to the left was 4, another to the left was 3, one to the right is 6, another to the right is 7. I know that 4 and 6 are both 1 unit away from 5, so their y values are going to be the same. So I just saved some time by plugging in one of the numbers. So I chose to plug in 6. If you plug in 6 or if you plug in 4 into the x slot, you're going to get the same answer. So I chose to plug in 6. So negative 0.75 times 6 minus 5 squared plus 6. Parentheses first. So 6 minus 5 is positive 1. Parentheses, 1 times 1 is 1. So then 1 times negative 0.75 is negative 0.75. Then we add 6, we get 5.25. Okay, we'll do 3 together. We'll plug in 3. Remember, g of x, f of x, it's all y. It's just function notation, so you show someone what you're plugging in. So let's do negative 0.75 times, if we plug 3 in for x, we'd have 3 minus 5 squared plus 6. So PEMDAS, inside we have 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Then we're going to square. So negative 2 squared, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Remember, you square first, and then we'll multiply by what's in front. And then next step, we're going to do negative 0.75 times 4, which will get us negative 3. And negative 3 plus 6 will be 3. And we know, again, that because 3 is 2 units left of 5, and since 7 is 2 units to the right, the y values are the same. If you don't believe it, just plug in any numbers smaller than 5, any numbers greater, and then plot those points. So now when we go to our graph, we will have, I like to do the center first, so we have 5, 6. So 5, 6 is right about here. We have 3, 3. 3, 3 is right about there. We have 4, 5.25. 4, 5.25. We have 5, 6. We have that 6, 5.25. We have 7, 3. Now it's again nice when they're equidistant on both sides because you get a nice U shape. Start at the center, let's go out, make our nice U, do arrows. Start at the center, go out, make our U, nice arrows. Notice this makes sense. It should be upside down because it's a negative 8 value. Okay. Now let's write our equation in standard form. So now if we try to go from vertex form, again, it's vertex because right away we see the vertex. Opposite of inside is 5, common number on right, 6. We're going to go to standard form though. So if I go to standard form, I'd have negative 0.75 times x minus 5 times x minus 5 plus 6. We then need to FOIL. So I'll do x minus 5 times x minus 5. When you do that, you will end up with x squared. Oops. We'll end up with x squared minus 10x plus 25. That's what you get when you simplify. Okay, so then in front we have negative 0.75. And we have plus 6 at the end. Next step, we're going to distribute the negative 0.75 into the values inside the parentheses. So we're going to get negative 0.75x squared. Negative 0.75 times negative 10 is positive 7.5. And then we throw the x. And then negative 0.75 times 25 will get us 18.75, and it's negative. It's hard to write with this. It's hard to write quickly. Okay, so then at the end we combine our like terms. So negative 18.75 plus 6. We end up with negative 12.75. All the other terms come down. So this is our equation. It's just now in standard form. A would be negative 0.75, B is 7.5, C is negative 12.75. So our y-intercept is 0, C. So our y-intercept, if we plug in 0 for x, we'd get out negative 12.75. So touch down here as it starts to come out. Let's do another one. Okay, so I'm going to do this one a little faster. Okay, so 1 to the left would be 0, so 1 on the right would be 2. 2 to the left would be negative 1. On the right, we would get 3. Okay, so I know these are going to be the same, and I'll do a different color. And I know these are going to be the same. So if I plug in 0, let's see. If I plug in 0 for x, we'll get negative 1 inside, right? 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Then we do exponent next. So negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So we get 2 plus 4, which is 6. So when I plug in 0, I got out 6. So I'll put 6 here. So then I know this one's also 6. Now I'm going to do this in my head. So if I plug in 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 2 squared is 4. Then we multiply by what's in front. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. Okay, so now we'll go and graph if you want to plot those points. Okay. So let's see. So I like to do the vertex first. So we have 1, 4. We have 0, 6. We have negative 1, 12, which is off here, right? And we have 2, 6. And again, you guys can change your scale if you want. 3, 12, somewhere off the graph, right? So start the vertex, go out, draw a nice U shape, start there, go out, U shape. Okay, it's opening up. The A value is positive 2, so that looks good. Let's go into standard form now. So I would have f of x or y equals 2. We expand, so we write x minus 1 2 times. We then are going to FOIL in the center. If you did x times negative 1 times x, negative 1 times negative 1, we would end up with x squared minus 2x plus 1 then we'll distribute in R2. So we would get y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 2 plus 4. So then we would get final answer, y equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 6. So that would be our problem in standard form. Okay, I'm going to stop here and then I will make the final video for number 35.